This video is sponsored by the Never Alone Company. With Never Alone, you can have your student loans completely eliminated. We do this with crowdfunding, like those Kickstarter and GoFundMe sites. Except the goal is strictly student loans. How does it work? You sign up for a small monthly fee, and when the funds become available, we'll pay off your student loans. It's that easy. What's the difficult part? We need you, your family, your friends, classmates, co-workers, and others to sign up. Payments start at only $2 a month. But if you don't want to feel obligated with a monthly payment, we also have the option for you to donate as well. You can find this and all other information at neveralone.org. That's never, the letter A, loan, LOAN.org. Neveralone.org. And remember, united, together, you are never alone. What up, people? It's Billy Mack. We're back. Another Dallas Cowboys Theory. So, supposedly, Mike McCarthy is going to keep Kellen Moore as the OC. I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know what that means. I don't understand what that could mean. I guess Mike McCarthy, if I remember correctly, when he was in Green Bay, he called all the plays. I don't know if he's going to. I think the smart thing to do, like, we need a pass here, we need a run here, we need a pass here, we need a run here. And Kellen can pick what play actually gets ran. But any other type of run or play calling assignments where he has to call the plays, what's the point of Kellen Moore being around? Unless it's like an apprenticeship. Mike McCarthy is going to run plays maybe for the first year, and then Kellen Moore is going to, I guess you could say, learn from him, what he likes to do, what he likes to run or whatever, and then maybe in year 2 or 3, he'll take over. But, we'll see about that. We'll see about that hiring. We'll see about that. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about is he's hiring Mike Nolan as his defensive coordinator. Now, Mike Nolan, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I don't really know. I know he coached the 49ers. I know he was the head coach of the 49ers way back when. They didn't really do well. But the one thing that bothers me, Mike Nolan runs a 3-4. I hate the 3-4 defense. I think the 3-4 defense is the epitome of high risk, high reward. Because if you have the right players to run that defense, it's one hell of a defense. It is a great defense. The Ravens have been running it for decades, literally, since they won their first Super Bowl against the Giants that year. The Ravens have been running it like crazy. But the reason they have been able to run it is because they have the personnel to run that defense. For all my Cowboy fans, y'all remember when DeMarcus Ware went out, when we were running the 3-4 defense, and DeMarcus Ware went out, it was nothing. It was nothing. Remember when Rob Ryan came in and ran the 3-4 defense? Nothing. It's because it's a very high player individual type of defense. It doesn't work well together. You have four linebackers, you have three down linemen and four linebackers. Now, the thing about it is you need an edge rusher. Really, and I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. But really, you need an edge rusher on both sides. And what a lot of defensive coaches try to do is take a DeMarcus Lawrence. They take a Frank Clark. They take, for my old school NFL people, a Javon Curse and a Greg Ellis. Y'all remember Greg Ellis. And they move them to a linebacker position. But they're mainly going to rush the passer 80% of the time. I get it. It's still stupid to me. That edge rusher has to be more of a Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Clay Matthews type of person. These guys played linebacker in college. They played that edge rush position, so they know what's expected of them at that position. And God forbid, I don't wish it on anybody, but it is the NFL. Injuries happen. What's going to happen when Clay Matthews, when that guy, when you're Clay Matthews, when you're Von Miller, when your Khalil Mack gets injured? What's going to happen? You still need to rush the passer. That's why you need somebody on the other side. So the 3-4 defense to me is high risk, high reward. If you got the right guys there to run the defense, it works. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, injuries happen. And you can't always rely on that your defense is going to be healthy. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe Jalen Smith could easily transition to one of those outside edge rushers. I really do think he can. I think Jalen Smith could definitely flourish in that type of defense. But after him, who do we have? You can't make Sean Lee, but Sean Lee's more of a middle linebacker. Same with Van Der Esch. Joe Thomas, more of a middle linebacker. March Lillard, or March, as he's called now, he might be able to do it. But, and then maybe Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong could probably do it. So, we have a couple of guys, but for the most part, the point I'm trying to make is the 3-4 defense, I can't stand it. I hate it with a passion. The 4-3 defense is more of a plug and play. Guy goes down, you got another guy who can replace him. Guy goes down, you got another guy who can replace him. The 3-4 defense is so specifically oriented. You can't rely. If guys get injured, you can't rely that it's going to be as effective. But then again, maybe that's coaching. Maybe when a guy goes down, they adjust and they run the defense in an effective way to where it can still flourish. But I tell you this is my theory. If they run the 3-4 defense, we're not doing anything next year, Cowboy fans. Just go ahead and get your mind ready for it. We're not doing jack squat next year. Maybe in year 2, especially if they decide to move Jalen Smith over to that outside linebacker and make him an edge rusher. It's going to take him some time to. Jalen Smith, I mean, I'm not saying he's dumb or anything, but he's shown where it takes him time to get it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it just takes him some time to get there. So, with that said, if they do switch to a 3-4 defense, Cowboy fans, get ready. Next season, unless our offense is just going to be so high powered that we're scoring 30 points a game, don't expect too much from this team. All right, just get your mind right, baby. Get your mind right. It's your boy Billy Mack. We out here. Peace.